Episode 34 of Big Brother UK. That's day 39, and that means we've only got 2 days left to the finale. But before we get into that, I would briefly like to touch on something that was said on Facebook yesterday. Somebody posted about how the show must be embarrassed, about how they kept pushing for Trish to win, and then when she came out, they found out about all her tweets and how she was discriminating against people. And there was a conversation going on, and I commented to say she wasn't a bully in the house. So the person who posted the original thing commented and said, "Oh, what about an aggressive attack on Dylan? She was calling him a prick and a bad boy." And I says, there was no aggression there. She was shouting at him because he stormed out the room and started shouting at her for voting for him, and then says that she shouldn't have voted for him because the two of them were black. There was nothing aggressive about it. Person came back on and commented this morning and said Dylan was right, Trish is an angry black woman. And I was like, at no point did Dylan say Trish was an angry black woman. He said that she was angry or she had anger problems, but he never actually turned around and said that. And I had to then explain the hypocrisy of this person calling Trish racist, right? When he's came on and said that Dylan said that. And I says the whole point is it's a very dangerous thing to assume that black women are strong or that they're all angry because it's a stereotype. And Dylan never once said that. And as I've said before, Facebook is full of old people, right? And they don't have a clue. Like, they go through their life. I'm not talking about all old people here, but a lot of old people, they go through their life and they go, oh, but we did that in the 50s, we did that in the 60s, we did that in the 70s. And it's like, right, okay, we used to do things in the 80s, but I know now that that's wrong, so I don't do it anymore. And I understand that the world has got oversensitive and you literally can't say anything without offending people at this point. But for him to turn round and call Trish racist, right? And then turn round and say, oh, Dylan says, oh, she was an angry black woman. I was like, do you not understand what's just happened here? They're so clueless. Anyway, enough about that. Most of the people that make these comments on Facebook are decrepit, and they probably won't even make it to next season anyway. It showed you footage from before last night's eviction, and Tom and Jordan were talking about the housemates being fake. And when Tom was saying that, I was thinking, is he actually being serious right now? This is the guy who ripped Yernon to bits for 2 days and says he couldn't wait to get in there and tell him how he really felt. And then when he was in the cell, he was just like, oh, be yourselves, guys, don't forget yourselves. And he couldn't have been any nicer, and I was like, either he's totally changed his mind in the 48 hours, or he's a complete shitebag. And I think we know what it is. Jordan was in the diary room talking about being stuck in the room with Jenkin and Tom and saying they're totally against Yernon. And he did say nice things about Yernon, but on Facebook they were like, oh, Jordan told Yernon what they were saying about him, but he never stuck up for her. And he actually did stick up for her a few times. I don't know if people watch the show right and they just see what they want to see. It's very confusing to me how people can comment what they've seen, and I think, were we watching the same show? Like, are we like maybe watching this for other dimensions and we're all just talking about it on the same internet space? It's very confusing. Tom and Jenkin were telling Jordan that they wanted him to go back into the house because they misjudged him and they thought he was just there for the money. But now that he's went back in and he was telling them all what happened in the spare room, I wonder if they still want him to win. However, they did say, oh, when the person goes back in, we want them to tell them what's been happening and what we've been saying. And he did do that, to be fair. Big Brother was announcing the Wild West task. I'm like that, oh God, here it comes, Olivia screaming again for no reason. So they had to stay in this bucking Bronco, and then they had to do a game where they threw a shot glass, and then they had to down condiments. And I was like, there's certain condiments I could drink, right? Like, see if it was pickled onion juice. Listen, I'm drinking the jar, right? I'm not just drinking a shot. But mustard? One step too far. So the housemates were called into the back garden, and it showed you the exact same thing that we watched last night. I don't know why they did that. But anyway, Jordan got back into the house and he started telling everybody what was said in the spare room. And he was telling Yernon that they said, oh, she's 25, why does she act like a child? Why do they pander to her and everything? And she took it so well. She was like, oh, I feel better now because now I know we didn't go on because that was their problem and not mine. And I was like, whoa, that is the best response I've ever heard to somebody talking crap about you in my life. Jordan told Olivia that Jenkin was upset with her because she was talking about him being paranoid about his weight. And she was saying, oh no, I was only saying that I'll never be able to relate to that. And I was like, whoa, hold your horses, right? She's only 23. And to say you're never going to be able to relate to that is pushing the boat out. Confidence is key, right? But let me tell you, when I was 23, I wasn't this size. And I used to think that I would never get fat. Here I am, right? Let's just calm it. Jordan told them that Jenkin and Tom found it strange that they were all buddy-buddy now. But meanwhile, Jenkin and Tom were sitting telling him that they wanted him to go back into the house and they wanted him to win. That was a complete turn in events. So how was it alright for them but it wasn't alright for the rest of the house? Henry was in the diary room talking about how much he missed Jordan when he was gone and how he got butterflies when he came back in. And I was like, he is so adorable, right? But then later Jordan was in the diary room and he was saying, oh, I really like Henry, but it's platonic with a bit of kissing. And I was like, why is he in denial, right? Because I used to know somebody who was like this, and they would say that they didn't like somebody, and it was so clear that they did. It just baffles me. Then it showed you them in the hot tub talking, and Henry was saying, oh, I'm really annoyed that I've got these feelings because normally I don't give a shit. But the clip that I seen on the Big Brother Facebook earlier on yesterday was different, and they were like, oh, let's just talk, we can't do anything in the hot tub, let's just talk, and they started kissing, and I was like, and Jordan had on Henry's necklace. I was like, tear. Olivia was in the diary room crying and said that she felt so alone because all her friends were gone, and she says, what did Tom and Jenkin want me to do, like totally break down and lose it? But obviously Tom was upset because when Paul left, he was literally heartbroken. But Olivia and Tom weren't that close. And even so many people have left and then they've all got on with it. Like literally what did they expect her to do? On the Late and Live show they had the celebrity guests, and there was this guest who had their face painted all white, and they were saying, oh, Tom was a child, and I'm glad you're out, Tom, I hope you're watching. And I thought, they need more guests like that, because that is entertaining to me. Kerry and Hallie were the special guests, and I kinda wished it was Tom and Jenkin, because I really wanted them to ask them if they still wanted Jordan to win after he went into the house and told them everything that they said. I didn't get to watch the rest of the Late and Live show, so I'm going to edit this video and watch it. But let me know in the comments who you're voting for to win. Of course, I've already put my 5 votes on Henry. I love him. Oh, before I go, there's a lot of people on Facebook saying that they don't want Jordan or Henry to win because they're loaded and they don't need the money. But if the public wanted people to go in there who were in there for the experience, then why does it matter how much money they've got? There's so many people in there who say, oh, they're really snooty and they're loaded, I don't like them. Imagine they turn around and says, oh, I don't like you because you're a peasant bitch. There would be an absolute uproar. Like, you can't just not like somebody just because they've got money. And by the way, nobody knows how much money they've actually got. Right? Why are people being so judgmental? I don't care if Henry's a millionaire. He deserves to win. Anyway, there's only 2 more days left, 2 more shows, 2 more of us talking in these videos. If you would like to talk more about Big Brother, give me a follow. However, there's only going to be another 2 videos. But hopefully I see you then. Bye!